Okay, continuing on, get a share screen. Um, so this little wobbling character that I've made here is based on the fish scenario that comes with the examples. The key here is that the master node has an output, a master node here of my moving shader graph. Let me close these other ones. The master node, and incidentally, it's Option or Alt and mouse to move things around, scroll wheel to zoom in and out. Um, the master has input for the vertex positions. And that's what we're going to play with. We're going to modify the vertex positions. Now, the object itself is not actually deforming. It's just a visual thing. But we are definitely giving it the appearance of it moving around. Other inputs here, I've got an albedo and a normal that I'll show you where they come from in a minute here. So the deformation that I'm going to produce is produced by a sine wave that moves along the length of the object. So if I think of y, the y direction up along the z, y as a function of z and time is an amplitude times a sine of the velocity of my wave times time plus the frequency of the wave times z. So this is kind of its wavelength, how far apart the wiggles are, and v is how fast these wiggles move down the length of my object. So we get z from a position node. This is the position node. We've selected object, which is going to be the object's position. Or the position on the object, actually. There are other choices, such as view, world, and tangent. I'm sending its output to the split node, and I'm extracting its B component. R, G, and B correspond to X, Y, and Z in the shader world. And I'm going to multiply that Y component by the wobble frequency. So here I'm multiplying these. I then pass that on and multiply it by the time that I get from a time node. And then I add its output to the output of the WZ term that we produced above. So oh, and then that gives me the VT plus omega Z. Then I take the sine of that, and then I multiply that by the amplitude. And now I have this function y as a function of z, the position along the object, and t, the time that's going on, is a sine VT plus omega z. So cool. I get another position node. I split it into its R, G, and B components, and I'm going to pass the R and B components directly onto a combine node. But the G component, I'm going to I'm going to add it to the output of that whole V of Z and T function that I just made. So this is the string of stuff that makes the sine. I'm adding that to the Y position of my object, and I'm passing it on to the G of the combine. So the red and blue, the X and Z, are undeformed. They just come straight across. But the G passes, it has this V of ZT added to it and passed on. Finally, from the combine, I send that to the position uh, along with the albedo, just a sample texture 2D with the albedo property and a sample texture 2D with that normal map property sent to the normal. And that makes our wiggling object that uh, swims along through space doing this deformation in uh, the Y direction. And I have the landscape scrolling down below here. So if I kind of embed my character in this scrolling landscape, I have the appearance here of a serpent swimming through the water. And of course, this shader has all of the exposed texture, normal map, direction, speed, and tile scaling. No, that's the scrolling material. Sorry. Here's the sphere moving, which has the texture, the normal map, its wobble speed, its wobble amplitude. Let's make the wobble amplitude bigger. So now, uh, 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 now my sea serpent comes up out of the water a bit. So all very cool and not that hard to do. And here's the whole thing. I'm going to, again, stop the share at this point. The next one I'm going to do is transparent cutouts. So here's what's coming next. The transparent cutouts are objects that have kind of holes in them. And the edges of the cutouts are glowing materials, emissive materials. Here it is in the dark so that you can see the glowing materials. So all very cool. And I'll get to that next time. I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to end recording and I'll see you in class. Bye.